I just realised. I wonder how long this goes for.
Not very long. Not much longer. It's only got another little bit, and you're good. So
No, I'm not stressed. I just set up in the front of the shop, and I'm like, shit. What if someone rocks up? It's going to make it difficult. Oh, dude, they'll just walk
do
around me.
we got Lara?
Lara.
Are we on? Lara's just finished her run.
Let's see what she'll give us. Currently, best run 76.
She's got the dry humor, and she kind of seems like she's disappointed. 76.66.
76.6. She's got to be pumped with that. Looks like the wind's starting to pick up a little bit out there of Ventura at the moment. Her hell is definitely blowing around a little bit. So it must be, conditions might be changing a little bit out there as we look at the X Games Ventura 2024 park right now. What a place. And look at this.
We got
Back up
Natalia,
one
last
there.
run. Here we go.
Dude,
Just about to drop in. 45 seconds must feel so good to these girls that are. Oh, how's the fold and hold? She just double pumped that. That was cool.
she definitely is looking so good on her bike leading into this Olympic year. A lot of those Olympic girls are peaking just right at the right point, and I feel like watching her ride right now and just general.
Yo, hitting
Yeah,
the flare. She just pulled it. She's got to be stoked. She just upped her run. Toboggan whipped out. Woo!
oh my
Hanging onto
God.
it. Did you see that?
This is exciting. Tail
Oh,
whip.
pulls the tail whip.
I want her to do well here, but I also do not want her to fucking hurt herself. I feel
Very.
like a dad right now, but oh, just a bit of a silly salmon in the end to throw it, and
She
she's
just.
pumped.
She's silly salmoned it. Will she go from 6 and knock off Kim? I don't know.
That's tough. I want to say yes, just because it was a very casual, well thought run. But what was the big box trick? I just don't know if there was a big box
Yeah,
trick.
I don't think there was.
But what I do like is the use of the course. Like every extension was touched, but who knows? She's just slowly. Like I think in a 3 run contest like this, it's probably smart to just each time try and tick it a little better each time until that
Mm,
last run. And the last run is just like the most riskiest. But why not do three? Take 3 attempts at, you know, we'll look at the gold.
yeah,
Oh damn!
Jamie. Oh, he just carries around his own medals.
There
That's
is.
they're actually not the medals that the girls are winning. It's just his medals.
Oh, hi guys, these are all my medals. Would you
Yeah,
like some? You can't have these.
I thought that she would not bump into third. So there you go, 82.
82. Wow. Yeah, I suppose it's fair. It was a very casual, safe run from what I would call her, but
Oh
I
my
still
god, Paris just X'd up into that. I was sick. Big backwards. Oh, getting a little loose. Can she recover? 34 seconds. Hanging it out with the table.
that line
Yo.
in the quarter is just very like when you get up here to Queensland, we had a gap like this at the village for ages, and it's pretty gnarly. A few of the guys are doing it. She's making that one on this course look so easy.
Mm. Yeah.
I think she's chilling. I think she's
Yeah,
happy.
I think she's just kind of lost a bit of her pump here and
Yep.
there. And it's just rounding down. Yeah. I would say that she had big plans for that run and then just missed a couple of landings and just couldn't recover with her speed. You know how it goes. You kind of
Yep.
need to get your special up to make it all happen. This was sick, but toboggan
That is
pocket
cool.
transfer, that was sick.
So good. So well done. She rips.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely a ripper. It's so sick that she made the Olympics.
Unbelievable, isn't it, Tyson? The craziest thing is like, we watched that run and like she literally the only thing I think she really has on all these other girls is bike control. Like she is just that little bit further ahead. She's just hitting those lines like that transfer line and stuff there. haven't really seen many other hit, so
Mm.
she's gonna have to really, really pivot on that if she wants to get a medal, I think, at the X Games with so many big tricks getting thrown. Wow, Macarena was a big first there.
So Paris is guaranteed a medal, but if Macarena pulls something off, pulls it out of the fire, then she will one up Kim. I think she's the second last rider. Yeah, that's
Wow,
big tuck in the hander. I like that pocket toboggan.
definitely.
She's a bit of a I didn't really pay too much attention to Macarena's riding, but she's actually like when a few years ago, she came out with the Sunday bike,
Yep.
and whatnot. But I think it's just like been really interesting watching her ride, especially with the Olympics and now this X Games. Like she kills it.
She is, yeah, that was a really good run from her. I'm genuinely quite impressed to see just that whole performance from her. Just kind of, it, man, the airs were huge. She's got some bigger tricks now. Like, there's not much she can't. Like, look at that lovely footage here from X Games. They do such a great job capturing everything.
Mm. It's
Two pedals. Oh no,
too,
slight bit of crank there, but oh,
it's crazy to see the demeanor of all the girls. There's so much more, there's more smiles and stoke going on. I guess that is just that pressure. There's so much pressure going on with the Olympics that once you come to something like X Games, even though it's a big deal, like it's massive, there's all smiles on deck. Everyone's psyched. There's not getting the serious Sam looks. Hannah's going to drop in for a glory run.
wow. That was a sick run on that first one. Let's see. Hopefully, oh, I didn't want to
Oh
say it.
my goodness, that was still gnarly. Tuck no hand to drop in. Did you see that?
That was. I saw she
Wow.
eyed that up early.
Oof.
Oh, what the big old skitty.
Wow.
Unbelievable to see her get it done. I know she's obviously in the Olympic mode right now, but Hannah Roberts, let's not deny her, was one of the most unbelievable runs. Guaranteed best run here at X Games to win the first X Game Park contest. I think will be something she'll remember forever. And you know what? What an amazing contest, Tyson. I think we just saw a women's BMX contest that had all the big tricks that we'd expect to see that we've never really, in the past seen. And I think, X Games very cautious in what they throw in, but in this case, I think they've made the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's kind of perfect timing. Bring out an event like this, which kind of sits in tandem with the Olympics, but it's very different. Like it's very obvious that like the concrete bowl, there's a lot of hype. It's not quite as stale as what the Olympics is. I think people need to see this sort of, I guess, light and shade. There's so many different ways to go with the Olympics. There she goes, just gets the gold medal.
So we got Hannah Roberts,
Is she going to
Paris
do the
Vegas.
bite? Is she going to do the bite? Let's see if she bites the medal.
Come on, she's probably
Put
got
some
so
money on
many.
it. Ooh.
Yeah,
Nah, she'd be frothing. First women's X Games when she pulls it off.
so
That's cool.
we're getting a rerun right now of the run. So she got a bit further over the box, I noticed on her box trick too. So she did
Mm.
case a little. Wow, it was a big flare.
Yeah, it was massive.
So let's watch really aggressive in the bowls, all the way over the box.
Yeah, I think it's something like those set.
Because they weren't that many bigger tricks than what everyone else did.
No, but I think like being able to do the truck and then come back and do another like big trick, like a three over the box again, the big flare. Like I think a few of the riders kind of only hit the box once, or they had one big trick and then they sort of like really like tape it off. Hannah kind of just slammed out big tricks all the way through, even though it was a bit more of a simple run.
It, we say it was a simple run, but she definitely did two big tricks over that box. And
No,
then that was
that's
huge.
right.
But think what she did was she probably spent anywhere up to 15 seconds of that run powering through the corners to lead into speed to the box jump, where the other girls focus purely, I think, on back-to-back tricks. The
For
only other
sure.
person who did a run, I think, like Hannah would have been, holy moly, there's been some funny replays for the girls. Um, would be Natalia. So she went a lot more casual with her run, focusing on the key large, quarters or extended quarters to do her big, tuck air or whatnot. Then in the
Mm,
final run, threw a few bigger tricks in. She just lacked the box jump hit. I think they were very much rewarding because you got to remember as a judge when you watch these events, you got to go out and have a ride. You got to feel it out. So you know what's harder than, like watching from home, it's easy for us to go, hey, they didn't jump the box. Boo, that was a bit boring. Why do you do your box trick? But what we're failing to see there is how hard it is to actually get the speed to do the box jump in general. So,
for sure.
they're going to do it once off the drop in or whatever they can. Whereas, she's been able to use that whole park and use that time better, I think. So it was an interesting to watch actually, and then like watch back at the end there to get a bit of an idea what we saw. And once again, I say it so many times and time again, if you're sitting at home watching, you know, you start to piece together the small things that are common when you see these winning runs. And I
Yeah,
feel like what we saw there was just very little mistakes, even in the jumping of the park. Like you could do the double flare and all the best tricks, but if you're casing this and you're casing that and it's not smooth, that's a little bit offensive to the judges. So, as we start to do more and more this, Tyson, and me watching more and paying more attention with you, it's cool to kind of piece together those common denominators so that even when I go and help my kids in future I can be like, hey, like slow down a little bit here, let's focus on those key points and make sure that what we do is the best we can. And I think Hannah Roberts just freaking nailed it. She is going to be absolutely pumped, and I think she now is going absolutely into the Olympics as hot favorite for me. And there was a few other riders that did well there who will be riding Olympics, but there's no doubt that Hannah Roberts is hot favorite right now. Good to see Paris up there. I'll be interested to see your thoughts leading into the Olympics. Who do you think now with the women after watching this? Who are you thinking? It's an interesting one. We still don't know all the riders that are going to be there because obviously, even though we saw the top six chosen from that Olympic qualifier, we saw Logan Martin not qualify in the men, which is a perfect example of some of the underdogs, which aren't underdogs, that haven't qualified that still will be selected. So, you know, I can't wait to see it. Who do you think? What are you thinking?
yeah. I think. Well, it's actually really interesting to see something like X Games. All the riding is on a very similar level in terms of. I feel like everyone's kind of boosting the same sort of height. Everyone's kind of, they've got their jumping way more dialed. Right now, obviously, Hannah seems like a clear cut favourite. Um, Aside from the Chinese girls that are going, or Chinese, who is it that's actually going? Is it? Uh,
Good question.
mm,
I think Dang Yuan
yeah, that's
maybe
right.
one.
Yeah,
She's going to win, obviously. She's not going to get second place.
yeah.
She's all in. Uh, I can't think of the other girls now. I'm the worst for names. I'm
Mm.
all Red Bulled up, so my mind's just going 100 miles an hour right now. But
Well, I think that
yeah,
I think that to be honest, the way that Natalia is riding at the moment is it's a standout. Like I think there's a few standouts. I think that Natalia is a standout. I think obviously Hannah is a standout. If we're talking, it just depends on what type of course we're gonna see. Because
and what I actually also noticed too was Nikita, I think, got a little bit on the tough end of that scoring. Like it's obviously always there is a personal flavor to it, but Nikita Durko's, I think, absolutely did some tricks that still we just don't see many do. And like the 540, she's got the whip now clearly as
mm-hmm,
well. So for me, I look at it and I'm like, she's ticked all the boxes. She looks good on her bike. If the course matches her riding ability, I think Nikita could also very well shake it up. So, you've got Natalia, we've got the whole freaking Chinese team because you don't need to know their names. They're all freaking good. We've got Nikita. Um, there's so there really could be anyone. Like we haven't
Mm,
even really talked about Charlotte Worthington,
very true. Yeah.
a former got like who rode really well, I think, in the qualify series and in just general after having a bit of a hiatus off the bike. But now to kind of see her back out and looking confident and strong, mentally well. I who knows what she's hiding? Like she nailed the bring something new and wow everybody perfectly with the three flip. And if you look back at that run, that was probably the only exciting part of that run to me. Like everything else was pretty just rode around, just made sure she ticked the
Mm,
boxes. Like and that's being super harsh, but we need to be when we start to make these like more in-depth evaluations of it, like the footy, like they all love each other, but eventually to us, I see us being able to have these conversations, Roy and HG styles, where we are breaking down these runs. Unfortunately, I haven't watched. It's too early for me to be remembering everything this morning, but I think what we're starting to see leading into this Olympic event will be some pretty exciting tricks that we've never seen before.
yeah, that's what. Well, this is the whole thing,
Who's
right?
got them? That's what I want to know. What's
Who's
Hannah
got
got?
them? That's right. Yeah, there's going to
What?
be tricks that you know, like the three flip, and I think Charlotte did a front flip too, from memory. Um,
That's right.
there's going to be a question of who has got the trick that no one is debuting, because right now I think Natalia, for example, she's really gotten back into like fine form with her riding, but it really comes down to has she like secretly be working on like three whips over the box, or flare tricks on quarters, because there's no doubt that there is stuff that people have got in their like pocket that they're waiting for the Olympics. I feel like the X Games was pretty tame by comparison, even compared to the Olympic qualifier that we just did in Budapest. So
Yeah.
we've got this solid month. The Olympics is on the 30th and 31st of July, and we've just got they're going to be going hammer and tong for 4 weeks, making sure that they nail that trick that they've been working on every day, while still remaining safe. But that's the
Well,
whole
it's a
thing
tough
too.
one.
Like you've
It's
got to.
kind of that ramp down. They've ramped right up to this period. And, as we learned, both of us doing our coaching courses and stuff with old cycling, they're really good at scheduling when they peak. And I
That's
feel
right.
like we're actually seeing a few of these girls have nailed the schedule. And I hate even talking about it like that. Look, obviously, we do go and participate in these coaching classes, and we do, learn a lot from it. And the schedule makes so much sense, but it just knowing how important it is and how peaking at the right time, not a year ago, like now. So
Mm,
Natalia leading into this has been injured so much with shoulders, knees, freaking everything. Like she's freaking mechanical. But what you noticed and I've noticed is she's just come into this peak where, man, like I watched her at Oceana's against Sarah Nicky, and I keep saying it, and like I don't know if it's a coach thing or if it's her being nervous, but like she's got the tricks. Like she can flip bar, she can five, she can do all those tricks, right? She can flare, like, but we didn't see any of that in any of the
mm,
qualifiers. A very tame Sarah Nicky, and I feel moving forward, I really hope they let her kind of come out of her shell a little bit. And Oz cycling, I don't know if it's like a I just never know what's going on there because their goals are very different to our goals or our wishes and wants. Same with the rider. I think Sarah's still learning to understand what they wish for and how to, work as a team. Like it's one person out on the course, but a whole team supporting that one person. And what I think people forget is a lot of the selection isn't all just about being the best freaking rider. It's also about making sure that all those pieces come together in the pyramid and you don't just have a big chunk off the side or something. Like it's all there so that when you're ready to peak, it's like a guaranteed result, And I think
mm.
that's all good and well in the scheme of coaching, but in freestyle, I feel like you got to risk it for a biscuit, And if she's feeling good, let her. fucking rip. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's
Like,
totally.
maybe with the held back X Games, we might see a few more people let it rip at the Olympics now, knowing that there's a 4 year hiatus and they could pretty well break them into a million pieces and in 2 years be put back together ready for the next.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just so interested. Like, I'm starting to get really into it, Tyson.
Yeah,
Kind
man.
of it invoked some excitement for me where now I'm looking at it and thinking about it in a different way because we're chatting and we're sharing, our thoughts about this with other people as they watch. And I feel like leading into the Olympics, it's going to be really interesting watching the gram to see what's going down because I reckon we're going to see crickets. Everyone's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah, everyone
fuck it
be
up.
on lockdown. It'd be like when boxers go off social media because they don't want to see any sort of like negativity or anything like that. It'd be really,
Yeah,
really
oh
interesting.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's it. That's it. Like, yeah, can't stay with the wife tonight. You need to be full of anger tomorrow.
Yeah, for
The
sure,
old
man.
testosterone and trick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, it's an interesting one because I think as we've said before in the past, like we're not your typical Olympic crew. You know what I mean? Me and you could probably. I know you're coaching a lot of like essentially the next gen Olympians, and I had a part with like being able to coach Sarah and whatnot. But us as riders, we just love BMX, and that's what I'm excited to bring to people is the fact that I love BMX. I love BMX in all forms, and I'm actually really excited to help to show and highlight how hard these riders work. It's impressive to me. At the end of the day, these guys going out there going bloody bananas, and they are representing their country. And it's the Olympics.
It's
But if the Olympics was
pretty
called
crazy to
anything
think.
else, you
Like,
know,
what I can't believe is like the fact we're having this conversation. Like, as a kid growing up at the skate park, I was like, you riding your kid, like, you get paid to ride a kid's bike. It was like I got told all the time, and I was huge, dude. I was like just a fly shit smaller than Dave, and like he looked ridiculous on his bike, but man, he could ride. And I feel like it's so beyond that to the point now where we're literally sitting here having a conversation saying that rat bag that would run amok down at the skate park, and you know, it's all turned into a point where parents now pay that rat bag to teach their kids how to be good kids or
yeah,
how to
yeah,
I just love that whole turnaround with the sport, and I don't know if it's all Olympics that's necessarily helped it, but it's definitely this next generation of parents now seeing it as no, you need to learn that there is consequences,
mm,
and the easiest way to do that without physically giving them like a direct consequence of being naughty is go send them out on a push bike and go be free. The minute they try something they shouldn't and they don't get it, there's pain. And that's not you giving them a smack on the bum. That's them understanding. So now they learn limits. And then all these things are good for children who generally can't make a good decision. And whether that be ADHD or whatever it may be, it gives them a direction and it just teaches them to be better humans. And I think we chat about it. There's great documentation out there with people like yourself doing some great, ebooks and Doc doing, you know, Dr. Chalk doing the coolest shit ever
yeah,
with the
for
track.
sure.
What we've seen from all of this now is this direction of radness that's coming. I wouldn't call it mainstream because like I certainly might like, you get a mainstream person to one of my coaching gigs and they can still know that I'm not rocking up in lycra pants with a do-rag ready to put over my cycling helmet and my clip-on shoes. Like I'm rocking up on the BMX and we're having fun and we're joking and we're laughing because that's what it is. Like this is forever. So
Mm,
they kind of the parents start to get that. Wow, this is fun. It's like yeah, because it is. Like I'm old as shit, and I'm still excited to go do some bunny hops over this piece of wood with the kids. Um, and then leading into coaching those Olympic kids, like we call it that, but I don't see it like that. My role for coaching those kids is probably not all of that stuff. There's programs for it when they ride with me, it's about understanding like transition. I'm teaching them not to just fucking pedal down the transition, to pump first, then pedal, then pull through a trans. So it's been really enjoyable finding where I fit into the coaching realm because there's a lot of great coaches that want to do heaps of tricks. And they're absolutely amazing at achieving it. Like I cannot deny that. And if anyone wants to argue that they're not getting the results, they're kidding themselves because the kids are learning tricks. But my biggest interest is creating kids that can go ride any park or ride the village or ride these places that I'm coaching and just look so fucking good on their bike that when they do the trick, you're forgetting about the trick because the next air just gets you captivated again, you know. And I
Mm.
think watching X Games has really it's starting to make me realize that I think I'm in the right direction. And people like yourself, when I ride or I coach any kids that have come up in the past from you, they had all the things that I personally needed to teach before I prepared to do tricks. So you've probably saw all these kids come up and been like, man, all these kids I've coached have just learned all these crazy, they can do everything. Well, it's because the base was there. The base that you created for them was so good that they still just look better on their bike than a lot of the other kids up here because they've learned from someone who appreciates bike control. So I think, moving forward, Tyson, you're coming to Queensland. Maybe you should come party. We can do a few more classes together, get you back on the coaching train, mate, because I think the kids will benefit from having someone with a big heart and a passion for BMX like yourself here, mate. Even up in Bundy, Bundy's a ripping scene, dude. You wait. You
Yeah,
bloody
cool,
wait.
man.
I can't wait to see you straight arm a Bundy bloody ranger.
Yeah, I
Strength, and we can just wrestle in their undies in your backyard until
know. Yeah, man. I'm excited for it too, dude. I'm excited to do some coaching and events with you when I get up there. It'll be sick. And especially
Yep.
kicking it off with the Olympic commentary live from Blue Groove. That'll be awesome too. So
If there is anyone still watching or jumps on, I know I've been going back and watching some of the stuff that we've been doing, Tyson. It's cool
yeah.
to kind of listen back because we do ramble heaps, and I am Red Bulled up like a gym. But I think having the live here, there'll be, you'll be able to have a ride before and after a session with me and you here
Yep.
at the Blue Groove. I think that'll be a really nice night to share together. I've got a big old projector. I'm thinking about maybe a band coming to play after, so we can
Cool.
enjoy the Olympics and maybe have a ride. I don't know when the Olympics actually is playing live too, so we need to work that out too.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll
I'm not entirely sure when it is, but whatever time it is, we party
yeah.
and we'll enjoy it. We'll have the live.
Pete, you're back on, mate.
I'm here.
Sorry, mate. You disappeared for a second there.
Yeah,
Um
that's me. Homemade internet dongle set up. I'm sorry about that, guys. You don't too fancy here at the Blue Group.
um what I might do is we'll finish up, eh? And
Absolutely, because I'm going to get so distracted by the next one that's coming on. So if you're at home, unfortunately, we won't be doing third elimination with you guys today, but we'll be back tomorrow morning. Isn't that right, Tyson?
that's right, bright and early, 7 a.m. And then we've got, I think it's 10:45 a.m. for the men's park final as well. So it's going to be a massive one for both of us.
Indeed.
Yeah, man, and I'm excited. We'll try and get there a little bit early, have a bit of a G up, and we'll see how we go. But appreciate you guys.
Be ready.
Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks as always, Pete. That was sick. Loved it. Awesome. All right, see you guys.
Take guys. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, dude. Finished.